it's Samina Aaron, and today we are looking at find the wedding dress for your venue. So depending on where your venue is, whether you're having a boho chic film or a beach wedding, or whether you're going for a more classic boutique style, you're going to be looking for a dress that not only shows off you, but you also want to make it look like a statement piece when you come walking, whether it's down the aisle or into your reception. You'll also want a dress that maybe fits in with the scenery, especially if you want the pictures to give a sense of being on the beach. You might want a beach in theme dress, and the same if you're going for a rustic wedding, you want a more rustic dress. So today we're going to look at finding a dress that suits your venue. And the first venue we're going to look at is the barn venue. So if you want to go for a barn themed wedding, you may feel that having a barn themed wedding is not the best venue in the world. But I can tell you that a rustic barn can give your wedding a bit of a rustic look, and it can also give you a vintage style depending on the look you're going for. So the dress itself can be as fancy still. You don't have to go for a just rustic mundane dress. You can still go for the floaty aisle, the lace, the more detailed. You can go also for the more vintage style dress. So instead of having a veil, you may want to go for a more vintage headpiece, or just go for a hair accessory as in a clip to give it that kind of authentic rustic look. The colours of the dress could also be a bit more different. You could go for a more cream look. You could go for the more toned down colour, white. So you go for a cream or a beige, something that fits in with the scenery. And then for your jewellery and everything, you can obviously go for a more toned down colour. So your coppers, your bronze. So the dress itself can be floral. You can have it laced as well. You don't have to go for something plain. You could go for a more classic style neckline. You could go for sleeves as well, but go for a half sleeve, or you could go for a full arm to shoulder sleeve if you want, or you could go for the lace detailing up the arms and just have sheer sleeves. You could also go for, if you're having your wedding outdoors, as in on the farm or a barn, you could also go for a little bolero to tie around as well. So the next wedding dress to go with the venue would be a destination wedding. So the destination wedding dress, if you've ever thought of getting married on a tropical beach with the sun rising or the sun setting and the palm trees and the 30-degree heat, and wondering how on earth you're going to wear a wedding dress and be comfortable, there are many wedding dresses out there now that are designed for beach weddings, where they're floaty, they're breathable, they're off the shoulder. They're kind of a beachy, chic style dress, so that you don't have to be hot and sweaty in a full gown. You can get these lovely dresses that have slits up the side, that have the shoulders off, so that you can feel a bit more not uncovered but comfortable. You can go for sheer sleeves as well. You could also go for a strapless beach kind of dress. You could also go for a shorter dress as well, whether it's 3/4, or you could have a knee-length dress depending on how traditional you want to keep with your dress. You could also go for simpler dresses, so you don't have the detailing and the lace. You go for a more sheer dress, but you have that white ivory colour, so that on the beach it just gives it that pop of colour against a kind of white blue background. So the next style of venue to go with your dress, or your dress to go with your venue, whichever way you want to do it, would be the castle themed dress. So the castle inspired venue will usually be a rustic, medieval looking place where you have a castle or a fort. And the kind of dress you'll go for, you'll want to have a statement dress, being in such a theatrical venue. You're going to want to go for the ball gown style dress, having the detailing isn't as a statement as you need to have. A little is sometimes more. You can go for the glorious full skirted dress at the bottom so that you look like a princess in her castle. You can go for the fancy tiara, or you could have a crown, depending on how far you want to take the theme. You can go for the detailed lace over your shoulders. You could have a little of your back out, but it is more traditional to keep your back kind of covered. And go more for the shoulders and the arms out so that you still give yourself a regal look. Colours would be silver tones. You could go for more white tones. You could even go for a floral dress depending on if you're having the pictures and the ceremony in the castle grounds. You could go for a floral dress. And the same with your headpieces and that. You could go from a tiara to just a traditional little tiny hair clip to just give it that pop of colour if you then want to make your dress seem a bit more regal, but you don't want to be covering yourself in loads of embellishments and detailing. So the next style of dress is the City Hall wedding dress. So the next style of dress is the City Hall. You may think that just because you're having a City Hall wedding means that you have to compromise on your dress. It just means that the dress may not be as flamboyant, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have to have a mundane dress either. So you can go for a low class chic, but also have some of the styles that you would have in another venue. So working with a dress that maybe doesn't have as much detailing and as much fuss means that you can have a nicer style dress with that pop of elegance, with the floral detail, or you can have a subtle piece of lace, or you can go for a classic white dress with the bouquet of flowers next to you with a pop of colour, or you can have a subtle dress and keep the details in your jewellery and your hair. So the colours for a City Hall will probably be a white or a cream or even a pinky colour. The style will probably be a veil but on the smaller side, and the hair pieces will probably be a hair clip, or you could go for just a subtle sleek back hairdo, or you could go for the volume do but with a shoulder length veil rather than a full veil. The choice is up to you what you have. Obviously, you don't have to compromise being in a City Hall. You could go for the big lavish dress. You could also go for the shorter dress as well, or you could go for the suit dress if you prefer. You don't necessarily have to dress in a dress for a City Hall. You could go for a tailored suit dress. You could also go for a tailored jumpsuit, which is in fashion at the minute, to have the trousers on the bottom and then to have the lace detailing on the top. So it's entirely up to you. Obviously, with it being City Hall, you don't necessarily have to compromise on the dress if you don't want to. But there are styles out there that are really nice, that can be worn in the City Halls as well. So the next style is the festival or the boho chic style. So the festival or boho chic style is the kind of outdoor wedding, whether it be in a garden or a field. It's the kind of carefree, flowing florals, detailing on the dress, whether it be a floaty skirt or you can have frills up here. Usually the dress is in layers, so you'll have different layers of fabric going down. You'll more than likely have flower detailing on the dress. The sleeves are usually short, or you'll have a Toulouse lace sleeve. The hair will usually be long and free-flowing. The detailing in your hair will usually be either a small hair clip, or you will have flowers made into like a ring around your hair. Makeup is usually subtle as well, going for a classic kind of festival goers colours and styles. The colour of the dress will usually vary a bit, with it being maybe creams or more rose pinks or beiges, keeping with the whole floaty boho free flowing dresses. They'll usually have lace, but not too much lace, usually just on the shoulders or a little bit on the arms, keeping the most of the dress with free flowing fabric, but the detailing maybe not in your face, sometimes just detailing on the bust or just detailing in the actual skirt, so that you don't go too over, because you're trying to be more like a hippie inspired free flowing. So the detailing isn't the main part of the dress. So I believe the last one we're going to look at today is the warehouse styled dress. So the last style we're going to look at is the warehouse style, and by that I mean the modern urban venue, whether it's an industrial building to a kind of more rustic looking building. We are going for sequins, detailing. We're also going for pantsuits, trousers, jumpsuits as well. We're also going for possibly a two-piece dress, so you have a great big skirt at the bottom, and then you have a lace detailing top at the top, along with florals. You could go for the pantsuit, so you have trousers at the bottom that are cut off at the knees, or you can go for full length. You can go for layered dresses where you have the underskirt and then you have the top that actually covers the dress, so it ends up being like a two-layered dress. The detailing themselves could be anything from short, and you can still have the glitzy style as well. You don't necessarily have to sacrifice the modern features entirely. If you want to have a bit more of a classical look, you can combine the two, whether it's in your hair or your makeup. The venue itself could be a warehouse, or you could be having it in an office block. I know that sounds weird, but the rustic, the more modern, you can go between the two and you can style your dress accordingly. So they were the styles for this season so far. Like I said, dressing your dress to your venue doesn't necessarily have to be how you style your dress, but it can be helpful to have certain things like that. So if you want a beach wedding, go for a floaty dress so that you're not too hot. If you're having a more colder venue, you could go for a more fuller dress, have it with sleeves, have your back in, have a little bolero or a little cape to keep you warm, because what you don't want to be doing is, although you want to have style on your wedding, you don't want to compromise your comfort or your warmth, because wearing a very floaty, flimsy dress in the middle of winter may not be the best option, and you don't want to wear a too big a dress in the summer, because you really don't want to be sweating in your makeup in a 30-degree heat either. So they were the styles. If you want to try and tailor your dress to your wedding, it can help make your day on the wedding a little bit easier and a little bit more comfortable. So this was find a dress to suit your venue. If you like this video and you want to see all my other wedding inspired videos, I will put my playlist there. If there is a thing you'd like me to do a video on about weddings, you can comment down below and I will try and look at the new what's in and what's out and try and come up with a video that fits this season. and this winter, as in dress season, whether it be winter or summer, and I will try and sort that out for you. If you want to like, subscribe, please do so. And at the minute it's currently snowing outside, so doing summery dresses in a winter theme outside kind of clashes, but never mind. So if you want to like my videos, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another wedding inspired video. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye.